Hey guys, it's Thomas. I make indie games for a living. You know that. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come in, come in. Today's gonna be really, really fun, guys. We're gonna have a great time. We're gonna jump inside of my side project, my little mini game I'm making about a little doggy here, and we're gonna talk about how to make breakable boxes that you can pound on like in Super Mario 64. Let's go. And by the way, guys, I wanted to let you know that my brand new course, Easy 3D, is totally free right now. Click below to enroll for free, and you'll immediately be taken to the program where you're going to learn how to make your very first 3D game. And here's the best part. You're going to do it fast. And you really don't need to know anything about Unity or code or 3D modeling. It's really kind of easy, and it's totally free. Click below to make your very first 3D game. I can't wait to see you succeed. All right, let's not waste any more time. My goodness. Jeez. Ad read after ad read after ad read. All right, so what we did yesterday, and what Felipe worked on yesterday, who's my 3D modeler, we all had a good time yesterday. This is our little playground here. We've gotten a lot done. We've got pounding, bang. Oh, don't want to do that. Hold on. We've got pounding. Let me turn on the music. We've got bounce ability. We've got collectibles, like this bone. Shoot. You throw them. We've got collectibles you can really grab and fly. We've got rotating platforms that will actually have friction, which is really cool. Thank you, Jason Wyman, for your YouTube tutorial about that. So overall, things are going great. And then more importantly, the most important thing that we're working on today, or we worked on yesterday, I want to show you the final result, is the ability to dash. So we can dash over there. So lots of fun stuff, honestly. These 3D platformer games, they are my faves. I love these games. And Felipe made this cool bridge yesterday. He made these bugs yesterday. He made these beautiful trees. We're gonna get them to blow in the wind here in just a little bit. And by the way, guys, if you're interested in learning how to make 3D games, there's a free course for you below. Totally free course on how you can start your very first 3D game. So be sure to check that out. No gimmicks, just click below and take the course. It's that easy. All right, so that looks pretty cool, right? We've got a pretty cool looking doggy game. I'm thrilled with this game. I'm having way too much fun making it. It's making me nervous, honestly. I'm worried I'm in a honeymoon phase here. But I'm having a blast. So what we're gonna do today is we're gonna make breakable boxes. So the first thing I wanna do is I want to come up with a script name. What would we call it? Would we call it a box? Would we call it a barrel? Would we call it a breakable box? No, we call it a breakable, okay? That's what we're gonna call it. Unless, is there a damageable entity script? No. We're gonna call it breakable, okay? That would have been a cool name for the Unbreakable sequel. It should have been called Breakable. All right. Hey, Gordon. All right. Let's see here, guys. Let's start our line of code here. What are we gonna need? Well, we're gonna need a serializable field, right? What does serializable field mean? Serializable field means that even if it's private, you can still access it in the inspector. Lots of box colliders in this game. I'm a big fan of box colliders and sphere colliders in this game. So we're gonna have a box collider. What else? We're gonna have health. It's gonna be a integer, not a float. What's the difference between an integer and a float? A float can be like 0.1, 0.3, 1.7. It's a decimal number, right? Integer is a whole number. We're gonna also have a graphic that is removed, okay? Now, maybe we want to be able to destroy the objects entirely. That might actually work. So why not actually a particle system that's instantiated that is instantiated after death. I think kind of like that. That works for me. All right, we're also going to need a script called break. Void break. What on earth? No, Unity, no. Break. Private void break. There it is. Okay. What? What am I doing? There we go. Alrighty. So we have all these beautiful things here. Particle system is good to go. Health is good to go. Box collider is good to go. So we're actually going to have a function called break, but we're also going to have a function called, going to be public. And this one should probably be public as well, let's be honest. And this was going to be called public void hurt me. Why am I not calling it hurt? Why am I not calling it hit? Because when you're using words like that, verbs like that, I like them to be very specific so that I don't get confused. So for example, if the player was calling this function and it was hit, well, what is it hitting? Is it hitting the player? Is it hitting the box? No, it's hitting the breakable. So it's hurt me. Okay. We're going to have an integer here, and it's going to be the hurt power. And all we're going to do is health minus equals hurt power. Now, I want a timeout here, serialized field. We're going to have it a float, and it's going to be hurt timeout. Okay. And let's give us a little bit of a comment here just for clarity. You guys know I love when I'm doing my comments, I like to use questions. Okay. How long should I be invincible after I am hurt? So that's actually going to be hurt timeout max. This is going to be the hurt timer. Hurt timeout timer. We could call it hurt timer. We might be able to do that. I think that's fine. Hurt timer. Nah, I want to be specific. Hurt timeout timer. I don't think we need any comment there. Now, some of you are really into doing very simplistic variable names. And the debate is between morons like me and professionals like you. The morons, they say, I'm going to use long variable names that are very, very descriptive because I want people to be able to read this. And me personally, considering I have terrible, terrible memory, I want to be able to read this next week and go, okay, I know what that is. So hurt timeout timer is a float. Hurt timer or hurt timeout max is going to be, well, how long? So I would say half a second. Half a second. Okay. We're going to create an I enumerator. All right. So let's go ahead and create an I enumerator. So I'm going to go to Unity or Google, and I'm going to type I enumerator, Unity. I'm going to copy the I enumerator script here with the yield in it. Guys, what does an I enumerator do? An I enumerator allows us to put a yield, which will allow for just some time to pass. Okay. So part of me actually feels like, well, let's see here. We don't need a timer. We just need a timeout max. And then we also need a variable. This is going to be a private variable. It's going to be called float, or no, boolean. What's it going to be called? Able to hurt. Or, better yet, invincible. I don't like that word. Able to hurt is better. Invincible implies that you can't break the box at all, ever. But this is private, so able to hurt is going to be, by default, is going to be true. And the question is, can the player hurt the box? Okay, so now we're going to go to our I enumerator, and all we got to do is we got to say this. Able to hurt equals false. And then weight the total amount, which actually is just going to be right here, which is timeout. Hurt timeout max. We're going to wait that many seconds, and then we're going to say, okay, now I can be hurt. This is going to be The I enumerator is going to be called set able to hurt. And I would say, why not throw a Boolean in there? Nah, I don't care. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to say set temp invincible. Invincible. Is that how you spell it? Come on, Thomas. What are you doing here? Let's take a look. Google, is this correct? Yes, it is. Set temp invincible. All right. So he gets hurt, right? And then we start the coroutine. Set temp invincible. So that will start and the hurt will occur. Well, we want to make sure we wrap this in if able to hurt, then go ahead and hurt me. Okay? Boom. Break is going to occur if health is greater than, if health gets smaller than 0 or equal to 0, then break me. Otherwise, set temp invincible. Right? We don't want temp invincible to be there. Well, yeah, we don't want temp invincible to even happen if health is greater than 0. Then what we do is we just say able to hurt equals false, just for clarity here, just to be absolutely sure on break. So there's no extra hurting happening. Then what we also want to do is we want to destroy this game object. But Thomas, you shouldn't destroy it. You should disable it because you might want to save it and you can't save a destroyed object. Well, there's not going to be any saving in this game within the context of a level. You'll start a level, you'll collect a star, you'll get kicked out of the level, and you have to go back in and it'll all reset. So I'm not going to worry about it, okay? Alrighty. All right, let's keep going, guys. And by the way, those of you just joining us, if you haven't downloaded my free 2D game kit below, it's totally free, my treat to you. Use that game kit to make a game like I did in 14 days. I made a game for PewDiePie in 14 days with this game kit. I actually got to play it with PewDiePie, which was really, really cool. It's my treat to you. Download it, use it however you want. You can even store it on your computer, use it next year, make $1 million off the game you create with it. I really don't care. It's my treat to you. Check it out below. If you're not into 2D games, check out my 3D course below. It's totally free. All right, so we've got set temp. I'm going to do something here that I've never done before, or at least I rarely do. I'm going to try and write this script, the majority of it, and get it working without even testing it. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to say public void on collision enter. We're going to say if collision dot game object is the player dot instance dot game object. If that's the case, that's not enough, is it? You also want to say and we're going to do 2 parentheses, and player dot instance is dashing, or player dot instance is slamming. Okay, so I'm of the opinion, I'm not sure which one we'll start with, which ability we'll start with in the actual game. Okay, that is set to, okay, so dashing, we need to set it to public. So we'll do that really quick. Yeah, I'm not sure which ability you start with. But by the way, dashing, for example, a variable like dashing here, let's see here, where is it? We don't want it to be in the inspector, but we'd want it to be public, okay? So we're going to do that with dashing. We're also going to do it with slamming as well. Where's slamming? But yeah, I'm not so sure why. What? Where's slam? It's called pounding. I feel like is pounding is a bit strange, so we're going to change that from is pounding to just pounding. Okay? That's a weird delineate. Is that a word? Delineation. I'm just going to have it pounding. Okay. Let's search for it. There it is. Let's change it to pounding just for clarity here. Because you'll notice that dashing is not is dashing. It's just dashing. So let's make sure our variables are consistent in their naming conventions. Okay. All right. Pounding is pounding equals false. Once we get this done, then we can go back to the breakable script here. There's another one. I think that's everything. Yes, now let's go back to the top here. We'll definitely need to sort through all this crap here. There's a lot of stuff. Oh, it's public. Good. Okay, public. So now we're going to go back to our breakable script, and we're going to say is pounding. So if we're pounding or we're dashing and it hits the box, go ahead and hurt me. Okay? Now, we're getting an issue with hurt me because we need to specify the hurt power. So what I'm going to do is create a new variable called dash hit power. You know, I don't know. I think I'm going to call it dash or pound power. Okay. I know that's a weird variable name. I know that. But I don't care. It makes sense to me. We're going to set it to 10. How about, yeah, 10. And let's just assume, let's think here. I always like my healths to be in values of 100. So we're going to do 100. So 100 means that if I hit it, it's going to take all the health away. So you'd break a box immediately, basically. The health by default is going to be 100 on all of these breakable objects here, okay? So we're going to hurt the box. If we're dashing or pounding, we're going to hurt it by a value of 100. This will occur right there. And then if it's smaller than or equal to 0, it's just going to break me. It's going to destroy the game object entirely. Let's also make sure that we go audio. So actually, it's going to be player audio source, player.instance.audio source.play one shot. And it's going to be, let's just do a generic box break sound. One of my favorite things to do lately is I don't really like having game manager scripts. I kind of like everything in one massive player script. I don't know why. I don't like digging around but jumping between different scripts. I like it all in one place. Obviously, I'll probably change my mind here. But let's go to all of our different sound effects here. And you can even categorize this. You know, you could say, I mean, how do you do a header here? Let's Google it really quick. Unity inspector header attribute. So what we could do here is we could say this is our sounds section so that it's not confusing. Player sounds. See? And then right here we could do something like movement, which isn't true. So I'm going to just put other. So that's great for now, you know. We'll put the audio source in there as well. What was I doing? Oh, you know what? I don't want to do it in there. What I want to do is I want this to be box break sound. This is going to be, instead of box break sound, it's going to be, this is going to be my, yeah, break sound. That's it. So there's a break sound and there's going to be a hurt sound. Okay, guys? So serialized field, audio clip, and this is going to be break sound. This will also need a hit sound. Okay? Because, guys, this breakable script is going to be used with Unity, okay? With enemies. Hey, North Game Studio, how you doing, buddy? Mr. Josh, how are you doing today? Y'all don't want to see me put nose spray in, do you? Alrighty. Oh. Yes, I promise it was nose spray. All right, we've got a break sound. So the break will play that sound. If the health is not smaller than or equal to 0, then let's just go ahead and play the regular sound, right? I don't want it to play both, so we're going to do a hurt sound. Okay. Or really hit sound. You know what? I'm gonna stick with my syntax here, or my naming conventions. Hurt me sound, right? Because hit sound is like, well, for some reason is it hitting the player, you know? So hurt me sound, good, and then set temp invincible, very good, very good. Let's see here. That should do. And then the final thing is we're going to instantiate those particles. So it's going to occur right here. Instantiate particle system. The parent is going to be null. The position, transform.position. And also quaternion identity. So we're going to, why is this happening? What's going on? There we go. Okay. All right. That should do. And we also want to say if particle system exists, right? We also want to say, if the break sound exists, then play the break sound, right? You really want to be careful here with any null references that you're getting here. Same here. If hurt me sound exists. Yeah. Okay, this is a pretty beautiful script. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So let's go ahead and drag this onto the boxes, and we'll see if it works. Okay. I was talking about this yesterday. When I'm working on a game, I get really fussy and frustrated when something doesn't feel good immediately. I want like instant. What's going on here? That needs to be pounding. I want to get instant game feel to encourage me to keep working on the script. So I like the sounds and the particle systems to be all basically ready to go before I even test it out. So let's see if that works here. Box collider, good. Also, something we want to do here is, no, I think we're good. Health is 100. Particle system is not set up yet. I think that it shouldn't be called particle system. It really should be called break particles. What particles should be instantiated? I love, man. When in doubt, put a question next to a variable, and that will actually describe what it does. So what particle system should be instantiated on death? On break. Good. I had fun this morning, guys. I had a really good time. I went out to my buddy's property and we went turkey hunting today, which was really fun. Has anybody ever done that? It's really, really fun. Okay, let's see here. Breakables, put a breakable script on there. right. Break sound. So let's see if we have a breakable box. If we don't, I can just snag one from my previous game. We don't. I'm curious if they have some good ones on art list. I'm tired of reusing the same ones over and over for my games. So let's find a different one here. Sound effects. Box break. Sucks. Sucks. You can just look at the waveform and see how sucky these are. Let's type in barrel. These are horrible. You know, that's just bad. Let's find something from Father, okay? Father is the other game that my team is working on. And we're gonna find the, I gotta go into the actual file structure here really quick, and then I'll show it to you. Inside of Father, what we're gonna do is, we have these assets here, sounds, and there should be a breakable sound in here. There it is. Box hit and box break. We're gonna copy both of those. Copy that, 555. Copy that, 555. What's that from? That's StarCraft, isn't it? Box break and box hit, those should be good. Let's let those import, and then we'll drag them into the actual audio clip here. So box break, and then hurt me sound is box hit. Okay. Now this is great because we can use this breakable script on pretty much anything we want, right? That includes enemies even. So we're gonna put breakable on the enemy script. We'll just attach it, or on the enemies themselves alongside the enemy script, okay? Great, breakable script is looking good so far. I'm tempted to just go ahead and test this. I think overall we're good here. Let's just go ahead and put a particle system here. It's just gonna be the, what's a particle system that we can use that was instantiated? Ah, yes. If we go to the bone here, we have a particles generic poof. We're gonna instantiate that for now, okay? All right, guys, let's test it out. See if it works. This is fun. I've never really written an entire script without testing it. So if I just jump on it, no problems. It's kind of hard to do now. Good, it works. Awesome. Okay, that's crazy. Well, now we know that we can write scripts fast. All right, but it needs to look a lot better. So that's the next task. The next task Sophia Anaga says, "Hello, Thomas Brush. Your channel is great because its videos are so engaging. I subscribed today." That's awesome. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. And by the way, guys, those of you who are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. But more importantly, I want you to benefit from the free stuff I have below. Game kit, totally free. I'll send it to your email. You don't even have to download it. It'll just be in your email forever, whenever you need it. 2D game kit, totally free. I used this game kit to make a game for PewDiePie in 14 days. Also, I have a new 3D course. It's a free 3D course. I also have a paid one, but this one's free, totally free, on how to get started with making 3D games in Unity. So check that out below. See if it's something you're interested in. All right, fellas. What we want to do here is we want to study. Let's study the breakable boxes on. Well, I think Wind Waker. So let's go to Wind Waker. It's a level. What's that level? It's a fortress. Forsaken Fortress. And let's take a look at the Let's Play. Because I remember there were some really cool barrels and boxes on this level. Okay. We're going to get inspiration. Pick up those barrels and throw them. Come on. Pick it up. I love this game. We're going to scrub through it until we find one. There we go. There it is. Oh, thank you. Okay, let's write the time code down. The time code is 1433. All right, so we've got dust particles and we've got wooden particles. So the first one we're going to do is wooden particles, okay? So let's open up Photoshop. We're going to do 1080 by 1080. You can always scale it down later, don't worry. But it does need to be a square. At least that's what I think. We could do a cube mesh, but we're not going to do it. So we're going to do something like this. So all I'm doing right now is holding shift to create cool angles here. Let's cut this piece off here. There we go. So that is our wooden piece. We want it to be the exact color as the barrel, okay? We don't want to be messing around trying to come up with our own random colors when we can just copy and paste it. So there's our wooden piece. If we reference Wind Waker here, you'll notice, I mean, hey, let's just take a screenshot, right? We can bring it into Photoshop. When in doubt, guys, just reference other games. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to stress. You're not stealing anything. You're just getting inspiration, all right? So you can see here, there's basically just one or two pieces. I'm fine with just using one, but what they've done here is they've created basically a three-dimensional look to it. So I'm going to take that, go a little bit darker here, okay? And I want it to be pretty significant. And there we go. All right, friends. There we go. Fill her in. And now we've got a three-dimensional looking board, huh? And that board is now going to be used as a particle. Now, there's two ways to go about this and think about this. We could do a whiteboard or we could do a colored board. My theory is that we might want to be able to reuse this particle, okay? So I might consider actually making this gray so that we can color it later in Unity, okay? So let's consider that as an option here. So let's actually color it gray and then we'll color it later in Unity. File, save as. We have all these different particles here. I'm going to call this wood, not bud, wood, broken wood. I can't, whoa. Broken wood particle. For some reason I'm having trouble writing. That's kind of scary. All right. Okay, we have our wood particles. While we're at it, let's just go ahead and get the poof particles. And I'm actually going to use these across the board. Okay, so actually, those poof particles we've already got. I just realized it. They are the same as our step particles. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to take those generic particles. Let's see here. Generic. There it is. Particles generic poof. We're going to duplicate these. It's not going to be a variant. It's going to be its own thing. We're going to call this particles wooden break. Wood break, okay? So I'm going to put it right here, okay? And this is going to help us sort of visualize it, and then we can apply all the prefab changes here. So what I'm going to do is loop it. 25, hit play. And we're going to have it loop just for now. Hit play. There we go. And I'm going to increase the size. It's going to be a sphere. The gravity modifier is going to be very small, 0.02. We're going to start large, 6 by 4. Go. We can't change the alpha or anything like that, which is fine. I think that's a little too big. There we go. I think the particles probably need to be a little bit bigger, so something like 6 by 12. No, 6 by 10. That's kind of cool. Maybe a little bit less. 5 by 8. There we go. There we go. And then we're going to create a sub-emitter. And the sub-emitter, let's drag it all the way back up. We should have pasted as a child. Yeah, let's do that. Let's paste it as a child. Where are we? There it is. Edit. Paste as a child. 0 out its position. Its rotation, we could probably 0 that out. We're going to set the scale to 1. And we're going to set the renderer to not a mesh, but a billboard. And the material is actually going to be a wooden, where's the wooden piece here? We'll go to our art, other, or no, textures, and it's going to be broken wood particle. And we're just going to drag that onto the object here. There we go. Now let's specify the broken wood particle and also specify the emission rate. Let's see here. We're going to set, let's actually not make it a child currently. There we go. I want to be able to see it first. So now what we're going to do is we need to make sure that that broken wood particle is alpha is transparency, and we're going to remove the matte for the PSD. That's going to make sure that our transparent edges are clean here. Let's make sure we delete. No, we're good there. Hold on. Yeah. What we're going to need to do here, and let's call this particles wooden pieces. What we're going to do here is we're going to go to the sprite, or I'm sorry, the particles. There we go. And we're going to do standard surface. We want it to be faded, or I'm sorry, transparent. Correct? Hit play. Oh boy. Change the albedo to broken wood particle. For some reason, I'm getting some issues here. Let's try fade. Huh. Usually this works. Particles, standard unlit. And then increase alpha entirely. There we go. We want it to be lit though. That's the thing. We do want it to be lit. So let's make it lit. Again, see what we're getting here. Particles, standard surface. There we go. Okay. We want it to be lit. And then we also want to take that brown color. I think we could probably, as long as we turn off lighting, or turn off the effects. You don't want effects on because there's color changes there. We can actually pick the color here and sort of tweak it and move it. There we go, to get it to match. Awesome. Okay, now we're gonna have it blow up, sort of explode. So the start speed will be something like 10 by 20 for now. We're gonna set gravity modifier to 1. There we go. And if we watch the Wind Waker, where was it? It was right here. We could test and see, is there any collision? There's no collision, so they just break really quickly. And we're going to do a cone, not a sphere. The reason we're going to do a cone is because I really want to have control over it going a little bit higher. Let's say change our pivot. Hold on, let's see here. Yeah, we'll set it to 0. Here we go. Oddly enough, no, yeah, okay. We'll just make it go straight up here, -90. And now, it's not bad. I feel like it should have a little higher angle. There we go. Start speed to all the way to 30. Maybe increase the angle now. Okay. Pretty cool. I think that's good enough for now. You know what I want to do? I actually want to save that as a prefab because I think we might want to use this sometimes. So I'm going to pull that over here. It's going to be particles. I'm going to do an original prefab, particles wooden pieces, and then there's particles would break. I'm going to put this one inside of this one. It's not going to loop. It's going to play on awake. That's totally fine with a count of, we're not going to do 25. We're going to do like 15. And then this one is particles would break. We're going to keep it named that. That's fine. We don't want it to loop. We don't want any rate over time. We just want 25 or maybe even just 15 here. So if we hit play, you see both. So you can see that the wooden pieces, sometimes they're just way too big. So I think 10 to 20 is totally fine. Let's make sure that some of them aren't too small though. Yeah. And we do want rotation over time. So we're going to do an angular velocity of negative 360 to positive 360. Okay. So we're going to see it flip in all sorts of directions now. Well, that's the theory, right? Probably need to go maybe even negative 1000 by 1000. Am I not seeing something here? There we go. Separate axes. Let's try this. Wow. So for some reason, we're not seeing a lot of rotation. Let's see here. Okay. So negative 300 by 300. Negative 300 by 300. Negative 300 by 300. Hit play. Cool. That's not bad. But we'll see. Okay, so now I'm going to take this wood break and I'm going to apply all. Now this exists. We're also going to add a destroy me. Okay, destroy me script is already there. We're going to remove it from this one. Hit apply. And what's going to happen is it's going to destroy after 2 seconds, right? So we can delete that now and put it inside the actual box script, the breakable script, remember? And we're going to do particle wood break. And let's take a look. Okay. So it's not big enough yet. Something I'm seeing is it's parented, I believe. Let's figure out what's going on here. I feel like I should be able to see more of it. So let's double check. Okay, let's figure out where it is. Particles would break clone. It's right there. Okay, so we're gonna do a little bit of cleanup here. Particles would break. Yeah, it's very fast. So let's do 1 second, and then this one 1 second as well. Hit play. There we go. And the spinning is super fast too, and the gravity modifier is super fast too. So I feel like it needs to be a lot slower. Okay, and also the spinning is a little too fast too. So negative 150 by 150, negative 150, 150, negative 150, 150. We're changing the speeds here for the rotation. Now let's hit play. All right, so I'm seeing, I think I've got it figured out here. Let's also, we want let's see here. Where is its origin point? Where is its actual position? It's at the bottom. So that means what we need to do is find the center point for the box collider. So let's go ahead and basically, let's Google search, find center point. Find actual center point for game object box collider. And then Unity will, how to find the total, how to find out the center of the box collider in Unity 3D. Usually it's a really quick script. When you Google things nowadays, and I say nowadays because about 10, 20 years ago, I'm sorry, 10, 13 years ago, because I think I started maybe, no, it was probably 10 years ago when I started it. It'd be really hard to find answers like this. You can get the center of the collider by doing this. Vector center, collider center. Okay. So let's find the actual... Usually, it's pretty easy to find answers like this. Let's figure out what that value is. Okay, so let's do a little bit of debugging. Let's do unbreak debug.log. And we're gonna do collider, box collider dot center. Okay, let's figure out what that value is. If it's not, I don't believe it's a world position. I believe it might be this right here. So I want to get, what is that? Why is that such a weird number? Yeah, okay, so it's got an offset value there of 0.5. Yeah, let's figure out what the center point is. Let's see if we can get it showing up in the console here. Basically, I want to be able to spawn these particles exactly in the center. So it's set to 0.5. Still looks pretty good.